Chosen one, God decided to tell you the full truth, no more secrets. I am speaking to you now because what I am about to uncover is too important for you to ignore, and if you turn away, you may miss a breakthrough that was meant to change your life forever. I have watched you struggle with half answers and silent prayers, and today I am removing the veil so you can see clearly what I have been doing behind the scenes. This is not a small revelation, but a turning point, and it carries the power to shift your future in ways you did not expect. Comment, Amen. When I say no more secrets, I mean that I am revealing why certain doors closed, why some people left, and why delays tested your patience. I allowed moments of confusion because you were growing stronger than you realized. I permitted silence because I was building depth inside your spirit. The truth is that nothing was random, and nothing was wasted. You thought you were overlooked, but I was positioning you. You thought I forgot your tears, but I was counting every one of them. I held back certain blessings because your character needed to match the weight of what I was preparing to release. The full truth is that you are not behind, you are being aligned. Within the next few minutes, I want you to open your heart fully, because I am unfolding clarity that will settle your doubts and steady your steps. If this touches your spirit and you feel my presence drawing you closer, take a moment to like the video as an act of faith that you receive what I am revealing. I am not asking for ritual, I am asking for agreement. When you agree with my truth, you step into its power. The truth is that I chose you long before you understood what being chosen meant. You were marked for resilience, not comfort. You were set apart for depth, not applause. I allowed certain betrayals to teach you discernment, and I allowed certain failures to build humility. You kept asking why the road felt lonely. The reason is that I was separating you from voices that would have diluted your calling. You are not isolated because you are rejected. You are separated because you are protected. There were nights when you felt abandoned. I was closer than your breath. There were days when you felt unseen. I was shaping outcomes that required perfect timing. I am telling you the full truth, so you stop blaming yourself for storms that were never your fault. Some battles were assignments, not punishments. Some tears were cleansing, not consequences. I know the weight you have been carrying quietly. I know the smile you wore while your heart was tired. I know the dreams you almost gave up on because they seemed too far away. The truth is that your endurance impressed heaven. You did not quit when it would have been easier to walk away. You kept believing, even when evidence was thin. That quiet faith moved mountains you never saw. I am also revealing that a shift is closer than you think. What felt delayed was being protected from interference. What felt denied was being refined. What felt broken was being rebuilt stronger. Do not measure your life by visible results alone. Measure it by the growth in your spirit. You are wiser now. You are stronger now. You are less dependent on approval and more rooted in purpose. I removed certain distractions because they were disguising themselves as blessings. I exposed certain truths because hidden motives would have harmed you later. My protection sometimes looks like loss, but it is always love. You have wondered whether your prayers were heard. I heard every whisper. I saw every act of obedience that no one applauded. I am not slow. I am strategic. The full truth is that your next season requires confidence, and confidence grows from clarity. That is why I am speaking plainly to you now. I do not want you stepping into your future carrying confusion from your past. Release the guilt you have been holding. Release the shame that does not belong to you. Release the fear that tries to convince you that you are not enough. You are enough because I am with you. You are capable because I designed you. You are protected because I surround you. Some people misunderstood you because they only saw a chapter, not the whole story. I see the entire journey. I know the ending from the beginning. I am telling you this so that when doors begin to open, you will not shrink back. When opportunities appear, you will not question whether you deserve them. When favor finds you, you will not sabotage it with doubt. There is acceleration coming, but it requires trust. There is elevation coming, but it requires humility. There is restoration coming, but it requires surrender. Comment 1212. This is not about hype. This is about alignment. I am aligning your heart with my plan so that when the blessing arrives, it rests on solid ground. No more secrets means you will start seeing patterns clearly. You will understand why certain friendships ended and why certain paths felt blocked. You will realize that what you called rejection was redirection. Stand firm now. Lift your head now. Walk forward now. The truth has set you free from confusion, and clarity is strengthening your faith. I am continuing to uncover what you could not see before, because the next steps in your life require deeper understanding. You have been walking by fragments of insight, but now I am giving you the whole picture, piece by piece. The confusion that once clouded your mind is beginning to lift. What once felt unfair is about to make sense in a way that steadies your heart. Could a hidden CIA discovery explain why so many people are suddenly living in luxury? Secret CIA research has surfaced, revealing a brain technique that pulls in wealth almost like magic. It takes just 7 seconds, can be done at home, and is supported by 4 neuroscience labs. People are leaving debt behind and enjoying luxury right now, but this information might be removed soon. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. The truth is that I allowed pressure to shape you into someone who can carry influence without losing integrity. If I had elevated you earlier, pride or fear might have taken root. So I trained you in hidden places where applause could not distract you. I strengthened your inner life before exposing you to greater responsibility. You wondered why certain prayers were answered with silence. My silence was not absence, it was preparation. I was arranging circumstances and shifting unseen details that had to align at the right moment. If I had moved too quickly, you would have received less than what I intended. I also need you to understand that some endings were acts of mercy. You begged me to fix relationships that were quietly draining your strength. I saw what you could not see, and I removed what would have delayed your destiny. My protection does not always feel gentle at first, but it always carries wisdom. There were seasons when you doubted your own value. You compared your path to others and felt behind. But I measure progress differently than the world does. I look at obedience, growth, and endurance, and in those areas you have been advancing more than you realize. I am telling you this because the next chapter will require boldness. You cannot step into it still believing you are small. You cannot receive what I am sending if you are still convinced you are unworthy. The full truth is that you have been trained for this moment through every trial you survived. The weight you carried built spiritual muscle. The disappointments deepened your compassion. The waiting stretched your patience and refined your motives. Nothing you endured was meaningless. I want you to pause and declare your faith out loud. Comment 777. As you affirm your trust, something shifts inside you. Agreement with my truth opens the door for greater peace. You stop fighting what already passed and start focusing on what is forming. This is how clarity becomes strength. Now, hear me carefully. There is restoration approaching, but it may not look exactly how you imagined. I am not simply returning what was lost. I am upgrading what was broken. What I restore will be stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. You have grown beyond some of the dreams you once had. At the time, they felt perfect, but now you are ready for something deeper. I am expanding your vision so that you desire what truly fits your calling. When I close one possibility, it is because a greater one is unfolding. I know there are still moments when fear whispers to you. Fear tries to remind you of past failures. Fear tries to convince you that history will repeat itself. But the truth is that you are not the same person you were before. You have learned from your mistakes. You have gained discernment through pain. You have developed resilience through struggle. The person stepping into this next season is wiser and more anchored than ever. I am also removing hidden burdens you have carried for others. You have felt responsible for outcomes that were never yours to control. You tried to save people who refused to change. You exhausted yourself trying to hold everything together. I never asked you to carry what belonged to me. Your role was to love, not to fix. Your role was to obey, not to force. As you release that weight, you will feel a lightness returning to your spirit. There is also a financial shift forming around you, but it is connected to wisdom and stewardship. I am teaching you how to manage what you receive so that increase does not become a trap. When provision flows, it must meet discipline. I care more about sustaining your blessing than simply giving it. Opportunities will begin to appear in unexpected ways. Conversations that once seemed ordinary will hold new significance. Doors that felt locked will quietly open at the right time. Pay attention, because I am guiding you through subtle signs and timely connections. You may not feel fully ready, but readiness is not the same as perfection. I am not waiting for you to become flawless. I am waiting for you to trust me enough to step forward even when you feel stretched. Growth happens when you move with faith despite uncertainty. There will also be healing in your relationships. Not every bond was meant to end permanently. Some distances were necessary for maturity. When reconciliation comes, it will be built on truth instead of illusion. But I need you grounded in me first. If I restore connections without strengthening your foundation, you might fall into old patterns. That is why this season has focused so heavily on your inner transformation. I am stabilizing you before expanding your circle. You are not forgotten in any area of your life. I see your private desires and your quiet hopes. I know the things you have not shared with anyone. I am weaving those desires into a plan that exceeds your limited perspective. Do not rush the unfolding. What is growing beneath the surface requires time. Roots must deepen before branches can spread wide. When the visible growth appears, it will be stable and lasting. Comment 333. As you declare your faith again, you align your heart with my timing. Patience is not punishment, it is preparation. Waiting is not weakness, it is strengthening. I am forming something in you that cannot be shaken by temporary storms. The full truth also includes this. Some battles were allowed so you could discover authority you did not know you had. You learned to pray with conviction. You learned to stand firm when pressure increased. You learned to speak life instead of surrendering to despair. That authority will serve you in the days ahead. You will not crumble under criticism. You will not retreat when resistance appears. You will remember that you survived worse and came out stronger. Why are so many people saying this CIA ritual changed their life in only 7 seconds? This leaked CIA method is powerful and effective. A short brainwave technique, backed by 4 neuroscience labs, is helping regular people move from broke to prosperous. Dream homes, cars, and trips are becoming possible. But this video could be taken down at any moment. Click the link in the description and comments now before it is gone. I am proud of the growth you cannot even see. I am pleased with the perseverance you showed when no one applauded. I am attentive to every detail of your journey. Now step forward with confidence. Let the truth settle deeply into your heart. You are chosen, protected, and being positioned for something greater than what you left behind. I am still speaking because there is more that you must understand before the next door opens fully. You have seen only fragments of the design, but I see the structure from above. The path ahead is not random or unstable. It has been measured carefully, and every step has purpose attached to it. The full truth includes the battles you fought in private. Those nights when you felt weak were actually moments of hidden victory. When you chose integrity over revenge, you passed a test that shifted your future. When you stayed silent, instead of reacting, you protected blessings that were forming quietly. You thought strength meant never feeling tired. I showed you that strength means continuing even when you are. You thought faith meant never doubting. I showed you that faith means choosing trust even when doubt tries to speak. There were times when you almost walked away from what I promised. You considered settling for less because waiting felt too long. But I placed restraint in your spirit and would not let you sabotage what was ahead. That restraint was love, not limitation. I also need you to see how much you have matured. The old version of you reacted quickly and worried constantly. The new version pauses, reflects, and seeks wisdom. That growth did not happen overnight. It was carved through experience and refined through discomfort. You are no longer the person who begged for validation. You are becoming someone who stands secure without applause. You are no longer desperate for approval. You are learning to value peace over popularity. This is why I am revealing the truth now. The next season requires emotional stability. It requires clarity about who you are and who you are not. It requires confidence rooted in me rather than in temporary outcomes. I am strengthening your discernment as well. You will begin to sense when something is not aligned. You will feel a quiet check in your spirit before making certain decisions. That is, my guidance sharpening inside you. Do not ignore that inner nudge. It is protection, it is direction, it is wisdom forming in real time. There is also a shift in your environment that is coming slowly but surely. Some circles will change. Some connections will fade naturally. This is not loss, it is movement. I am repositioning you into spaces that match your growth. You have outgrown certain environments without realizing it. What once felt comfortable now feels limiting because you are evolving. The full truth is that expansion can feel lonely at first. Growth separates before it multiplies. Elevation sometimes requires distance from familiar places. But I will not leave you unsupported in this transition. You are not walking into uncertainty alone. I go before you. I prepare the hearts of the right people. I align resources and opportunities in ways you cannot yet see. Your role is not to control every detail. Your role is to stay obedient and attentive. When you focus on what I ask of you today, tomorrow will take care of itself. I am also healing areas of insecurity that were rooted in old wounds. Those wounds shaped how you saw yourself. They influenced how you interpreted rejection and delay. Now I am replacing those distorted views with truth. You are not unwanted. You are not overlooked. You are not inadequate. You were being prepared. You were being strengthened. You were being refined. Comment 555. As you declare that number, You are affirming that change is unfolding in your favor. You are agreeing that grace is operating even when circumstances appear uncertain. That agreement creates alignment in your heart. The next chapter will stretch you intellectually and spiritually. You will be required to make decisions with courage. You will have to trust your growth instead of retreating to comfort. There will be moments when old fears try to return, but they will not have the same power as before. You will recognize them quickly and refuse to give them control. I am also increasing your capacity for responsibility. The influence you prayed for carries weight. The stability you asked for requires discipline. The impact you desire demands consistency. That is why I have been teaching you quietly. Small daily choices were building habits that support greater success. Simple acts of obedience were shaping a reliable foundation. Do not underestimate the value of those ordinary days. They were not wasted time, they were training ground moments. There is financial clarity coming as well. I am helping you understand the difference between impulse and wisdom. I am guiding you towards sustainable growth instead of quick relief. Provision will come, but it will meet maturity. Increase will arrive, but it will be stewarded well. I care about longevity more than sudden bursts. I also want you to release comparison completely. The timeline of someone else is not your measurement. What I am building in you is specific and intentional. Some people reach visible success quickly, but lack depth. You have been given depth first. That depth will support long-term stability. When your breakthrough becomes visible, it will rest on strong character. When your opportunity expands, it will not overwhelm you. When your influence grows, it will not corrupt you. Comment 999. As you affirm that declaration, you are symbolically stepping into completion of an old cycle. What drained you will not follow you into what is ahead. What confused you will not dominate your thinking anymore. I am closing chapters that overstayed their purpose. I am sealing lessons that have already taught you what you needed to know. You do not have to relive old struggles to prove you learned from them. What is really behind the 7-second brain technique that is creating new millionaires? A surprising CIA leak has revealed a short brain ritual that is helping normal people erase debt and attract serious wealth. With validation from 4 neuroscience labs, this at-home method is turning financial stress into a better life. Homes, cars, and vacations are becoming reality. But the government could remove this at any time. Click the link in the description and comments before it is deleted. Freedom means moving forward without dragging yesterday behind you. Growth means trusting that I have already redeemed what hurt you. Strength means believing that what is coming is greater than what was lost. The full truth is that you are entering a season of visible evidence. You will begin to see small confirmations that you are on the right path. Doors will open without excessive struggle. Conversations will align naturally. Peace will become your compass. When something disrupts that peace repeatedly, you will recognize it quickly. When something strengthens that peace, you will pursue it confidently. I am not just blessing you externally. I am stabilizing you internally. That internal stability will protect you from being shaken by temporary setbacks. You are chosen not for comfort, but for impact. You are strengthened not for isolation, but for influence. You are guided not for confusion, but for clarity. Trust this unfolding process. Stay anchored in my truth. The secrets have been uncovered so that you can walk boldly into what I have already prepared. I am not finished revealing what you need to know, because the truth must settle deep enough to change how you see yourself and your future. You have carried questions in your heart for years, and many of them were rooted in misunderstanding. Now I am correcting the foundation so that you build the rest of your life on clarity instead of confusion. This is not just encouragement, this is alignment at the deepest level. You once believed that hardship meant disapproval. You assumed that struggle meant you had disappointed me. The full truth is that many of your hardest seasons were signs that you were advancing, not failing. Resistance often appears when growth is near. I allowed certain pressures because they exposed strengths you did not know you had. When you were pushed beyond comfort, you discovered resilience. When you were stretched emotionally, you developed patience. When you were forced to stand alone, you learned dependence on me rather than on unstable support. You are stronger now in ways that cannot be easily seen. Your reactions are calmer, your discernment is sharper. Your spirit is steadier. I am also correcting how you interpret delay. Delay was never denial. It was protection from premature exposure. If certain blessings had arrived before you were ready, they would have overwhelmed you. You asked for expansion, but expansion without structure collapses. So I built structure in you first. I taught you discipline in private, so that you would not lose balance in public. The truth is that your private obedience carried more weight than public recognition ever could. The unseen choices shaped your character. The silent prayers strengthened your foundation. Now you are stepping into a phase where what was hidden begins to surface, not for attention, but for impact, not for ego, but for purpose. I am also healing your perception of rejection. Some doors closed because they were not aligned with your long-term stability. Some people walked away because they could not accompany you into the next level of growth. That separation hurt, but it prevented deeper damage. I saw patterns that you did not recognize. I ended connections that would have complicated your calling. You may not have thanked me for those endings, but one day you will. Clarity will replace confusion. Gratitude will replace regret. Comment 1010. As you declare that phrase, you are agreeing that cycles are closing and understanding is increasing. You are aligning your spirit with completion instead of repetition. Now hear this clearly. There is leadership forming inside you. Even if you do not stand on a stage, your life influences others. Your resilience inspires more people than you realize. I have been teaching you through experience so that you can guide with empathy instead of pride. The pain you endured created compassion. The mistakes you made created humility. You will not lead from superiority. You will lead from authenticity. That is why your journey unfolded the way it did. There is also a restoration of confidence happening quietly within you. You are no longer second-guessing every decision. You are beginning to trust the wisdom I placed inside you. That inner stability is a sign of maturity. You are not as easily shaken by opinions as before. You are not as easily discouraged by temporary setbacks. The full truth includes this as well. You were never behind schedule. Comparison distorted your perspective. What seemed slow was actually strategic timing. I do not rush formation, I build for longevity. What I establish in you will endure beyond temporary trends. You are also learning to value peace more than excitement. In the past, you chased intensity. Now you seek stability. That shift is wisdom growing inside you. Peace is not boring, it is powerful. It protects your focus and preserves your strength. There is an expansion in your understanding of purpose. You once defined purpose by position. Now you are seeing that purpose begins with character. Influence is not measured only by visibility. It is measured by integrity. It is measured by consistency. It is measured by impact over time. Comment 1515. As you write that declaration, you are affirming that growth is multiplying in your life. You are recognizing that maturity is more valuable than momentary success. I am also strengthening your boundaries. You will no longer say yes out of guilt. You will no longer tolerate what drains your spirit. Healthy boundaries are not selfish, they are stewardship. They protect your energy for what truly matters. In the coming days, you will notice clearer direction regarding your work and your calling. Ideas will begin to align. Creativity will flow with less resistance. This is because doubt is losing its grip on you. Confidence rooted in truth is replacing insecurity rooted in fear. You are beginning to understand that obedience does not require perfection. It requires willingness, and you have shown willingness repeatedly. Is it time to try the same CIA secret ritual that is changing lives in seconds? A newly leaked CIA-backed study reveals a 7-second money ritual that is transforming people overnight. Scientifically proven by 4 neuroscience labs, it retrains your mind to attract money naturally. People who were once broke are now enjoying luxury homes, new cars, and travel. But this secret may not stay online much longer. Click the description and comments now before it is removed. I am proud of the endurance you demonstrated when results were invisible. I am pleased with the faith you maintained when evidence was limited. The full truth is that acceleration is ahead, but it will feel natural rather than chaotic. You will not have to force doors open. They will respond to your readiness. Opportunities will match your growth. Responsibility will meet your maturity. Favor will rest on your stability. There will also be deeper joy. Not shallow happiness tied to circumstances, but steady joy rooted in trust. That joy will strengthen you during future challenges. I am not removing every difficulty from your path. I am equipping you to handle them with grace. Strength does not eliminate challenge, it transforms how you face it. You are no longer fragile in the areas that once broke you. You are no longer easily discouraged in the areas that once defeated you. The secrets are gone because you are ready for transparency. You are ready to see the pattern. You are ready to understand the purpose behind the process. Walk forward now with clarity. Carry this truth with confidence. Trust that everything aligning in your life is guided by my hand.